Hello grade 10s and 11s. Welcome back to another interesting video, and today we'll be doing inequality. So check out the previous video on my description box where I do solving for x and giving you all the hacks you need to know. Now please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Without wasting any more of your time, let's get right into it. So we're going to be using the quadratic formula to solve the inequalities, okay, to get the two x values. Remember, this is the formula. B is the second term, A is for the first term, and C is the third term. Okay, so if we have x squared plus 4x plus 3 equals to 0, terms are separated. Let's take a minus here. Terms are separated by addition and subtraction. So this is a term, this is a term, this is a term. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, meaning it's A, B, and C. So always keep that in mind. But when we have a multiplication and division do not separate terms. Terms 6 times 7, it's 1 term, but 6 plus 7 is 2 terms. So let's get into these inequalities. When we have, let's say we have 1, 3 and 1, this means 3 is greater than 1. So this sign means greater than. So 3 is greater than 1. And when we have 1 this side, we'll say 1 is less than 3. So this one is less. The one that is in here is less. Okay, we read it like that. And then this is greater or equals to. So let's say we'll say 4 is greater or equals to 3. And then here we have 3 is less than or equals to 4. It's less than 4, right? So let's say 3 is less than 4. It's not equals to 4, it's less than 4. And then for 4 we can say 4 is greater than 3 or less than 3. It's greater than 3. So this is the one. So that's how you do it. Okay, now when we say 5 is greater than 2, 5 is bigger than 2, but we can say 5 is bigger or equals to 2. So we're looking for the x values which are bigger or equals to 2. Now let's go to this one is an equal sign. This one is not equal. We can say 5 is not equals to 6, but we can say 5. We can say 4 plus 1 equals to 5. When you add 4 plus 1, they will still give you 5. So that's what we'll be doing today. These are the 4 examples. You can try them out and then come back and watch the video. But let's get into it. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So remember, whenever you are given anything like this, everything has to be equals to 0. So you say x squared minus 3x is less or equals to 0. This is how it should be. It's a quadratic formula, so you want it in this way. So with anything like this, you look at the common factor. Watch my previous video, I did this. What is common between this is x. So we have x here and x here, so we'll say x. And then to get x squared, what do we multiply x by x. Guys, when the bases are the same and you have a multiplication sign in between, you add the exponent. Everything that is not written to the power of anything is to the power of 1. So x1 plus 1 equals to x squared. I hope you guys get that. Yeah, x. So we're going to have x outside, and then we have x minus. For you to get 3x, you multiply this x by 3. Right? So we have x is less or equals to 0, and then x minus 3 is less or equals to 0. Then we say x equals to x is less than or equals to 0. Now we have the two x values. Yeah, but this is not how you're gonna write it. I was just showing you. You will say here x equals to 0 and x equals to 3. So this is a negative 3, but remember we got a positive 3. And now the answer is that for which values of x is x less than or equals to 0. Okay, when is x less than or equals to 0? So x is less than or equals to 0 when x is less than or equals to 3. So when x is less than 3, this thing applies. Where is x less than or equals to 0? Where x is less than 3, right? So here we'll say where, another one will say, we'll write it like this. So where 0 is less than or equals to x, here what will happen is when will x be less than or equals to 0? Here we'll say when 0 is less than or equals to x, but we'll take the equals. So you write it like this: 0 is less or equal. Here x will be less or equal to 0 when x is equal to 0, when x is 0. So, and this side, x will be less than or greater than 0 when x is less than 3. Okay, so how you do that in a table, you're going to say, okay, this is 0, and then here we have 3, and then you can have your graph like that. And then the other way you can answer this is you can say x is an element of a real number from 0 to 3. Or you can say, you cannot do it like this, do it like this. You say from negative infinity to 0. So this side and this one, this side. And then x is the element of a real number from 3 to positive infinity. Positive infinity is this side. Negative infinity is this side. So we're starting from negative infinity to 0 is where x is equals to, it's from negative infinity to 0 where x is less than or equals to 0. Then here again we are saying from 3, which is here. So you write a graph like that. So here we have x squared minus 25 as well as less than 0. So here we want the factors, so we can use the quadratic equation. Let's say negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac. Don't write it down, write it on a separate paper, don't write it on your answer sheet. And then you say negative b is 0, there's no x, anything 6x, 7x, plus or minus 0 squared minus 4 into 1 and into negative 25, and then 2 into 1 to get 2x values. So we'll say negative, we put 0 plus 0 squared minus 4 into 1 negative 25, yeah, 2 into 1, so 5, meaning x equals to 5, or let's put a minus here. This light, Oh guys, I think this has not been recording. I also I got the 2 5s and then just put them in here. You see the -1 and the +1, x equals to 5 and x equals to -5. That was not recording, sorry about that. And then we have to know, so you have to draw this graph. This is -5, this is 5. Remember to include it, and then this arrow going this side and then this arrow going that side. So you can also say x is an element of a real number for this -5 from -infinity to -5, or x is an element of a real number from 5 to +infinity. So x is less than 0 when x is less than 5, but when -5 is less than x, or x is less than -5, you can still say that, or when x is less than -5. Okay, but this is a more easier way for students to get this. I don't know if that was showing. Let's do this. So when you factorize this, we'll have x in this bracket, x in this bracket, we'll have -5, we'll have +5, x equals to 5, x equals to -5. So we can draw like this and have -5 here and have 5 this side, and then just do like this. This arrow goes here and this one goes here. So you can say x is an element of a real number from -infinity to -5, and then x is an element of a real number from this 5 going this way, from 5 to positive, from +5 to +infinity. All right, so let's start with this one. So here, to find the factors, I can use, we know it will be x to x. So let's use the quadratic equation to get the factors. Remember, this one you do it separately, not on your paper. This is just a hack how you can get the right x values all the time by using the quadratic equation. You're in grade 11 or 12, please don't waste your time. X equals to 5, and then x equals to, don't even waste your time for the slightest bit, or -3/2. So it means that x here it's 5, it's -5, and here it's +3, so that when we have 2x plus 3 equals to 0, we can have 2x equals to -3 divided by 2. Then you see x equals to -3/2. That's what happened there. Watch my previous video. It will be linked in the description box down below. For easy access, it will be written solve for x. Go to that. I've done a whole lot of this. So that's where we draw our structure. This is -3/2, and this is +5, and then this will go that side, this will go that side. So x is where is x greater than or equals to 0? It's when x is greater than or equals to 5. So here we are looking for x to be bigger than 0. When x is greater than, x must be bigger than 0. So when x is bigger than or equals to 5, now here x is bigger. And then when x is bigger than or equals to, so when -3/2 is greater than or equals to x. For those who don't get that part, let's use this one. I like it. X is the element of a real number from negative infinity, this side, from negative infinity until negative 3/2. X is the element of a real number from this positive 5 to positive infinity, that side. So this is the easiest way to do this. Now we are here. Another way of doing this rather than using the quadratic equation is to find the factors of the multiples of 16 that when you add they'll give you 80, they'll give you 8. So those are 4 times 4, they'll give you 16. 4 plus 4 will give you 8. So this is x. This will be plus 4 plus 4. When you say, let's see, x times x, it's x squared. X times 4 is plus 4x. This 4 times this x is plus 4x. Then 4 times 4 is plus 16. And then we have x squared. 4x plus 4x, it is 8x plus 16. 4x plus 4x, it is not 4x squared. Okay? 4x times 4x. You say 4 times 4. That gives us 16. X times x. This is x1. So x1 plus 1. So that will be 16 to the power of x squared. This is when you multiply. But when you add 4x plus 4x, it's like 4 dogs plus 4 dogs. How much is 4 dogs plus 4 dogs? 8 dogs. Please don't make that mistake. So yeah, these factors are okay. So x equals to negative 4 and x equals to negative 4. So when you do it negative 4, it's here. So we will have x is the element of a real number from negative infinity to negative 4, because it's like that for both answers. Sorry, we'll still, they're both negative 4, so we'll just say from this negative 4 to the other negative 4, you can say x is greater than, x is greater than 0 when x is greater than negative 4, or negative 4 is less than x. The complicated ones are this one, greater than or equals to. It's very complicated with regards to this answer. So when it's just like this, it's not complicated. But the moment we have greater than or equals to or less than or equals to, it's quite a tricky answer. So yeah, if you stick to this one with this ones with this ones, stick to this type of answers, you will be safe all the time and you will not get wrong. Thank you very much, because here we are just asking which values of x. This thing says which values of x is x greater than 0. This is x. When is x greater than 0? With this, when x is greater when x is greater than negative 4, x is greater than 0. And when negative 4 is less than x, x is greater than 0. You see? So that is how we interpret this whole thing. But with this ones, it's quite different and challenging, because when is x greater or equals to, when is x greater or equals to 0? Here it's fine. When x is greater or equals to 5, x is bigger than 0. But you see here, and then you just have to take this negative answer that you got and say when it's greater than or equals to x, then x is greater or equals to 0. So this when you do it this way, it's a bit tricky. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next video.